Purdue basketball is no stranger to scrappy, undersized guards, and Braden Smith is yet another notable one. In his freshman year, Braden was a starter in all 35 games he played in. He also scored almost 10 points per game on 43, 37, 86 shooting splits with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.2 steals per game. Pretty good for a guy whose only other major offers were Toledo, Montana, and Appalachian State. Now in his sophomore year, Smith has bumped his stats up to be considered one of the best point guards in college basketball. 12 points per game, 46, 42, 76 shooting splits with 5 rebounds and 7.5 assists, which is tied for second best in Division I basketball and 1.5 steals per game. Braden also has 4 double-doubles this season and has arguably been in striking distance for a triple-double 7 times this year. These numbers are very good for a 20-year-old sophomore. But when the top 10 Bob Cousy Award finalists were announced, Braden Smith was not on the list. And before people say it's just an award for upperclassmen, because I've been seeing people say that, it's not. Sophomores have won this award before. So let's look at the numbers. Completely ignoring the fact that Braden Smith is the starting point guard for arguably the best team in college basketball. Out of the 10 finalists, Braden Smith beats all 10 in at least one category, with the least amount being Isaiah Stevens, who he only beats in one category, that one being rebounds, and the most being a 4-way tie where he beats all 4 in 6 different stats. Now I know a lot of you will probably say stats like rebounds, blocks, steals, and free throw percentage don't matter that much, so let's look at what Smith beats these guys in when it comes to stats that quote-unquote matter. Those 5 stats being points per game, assists per game, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and turnovers. Well, he beats 4 players in 4 out of 5 stats that matter. And there's only one player that he doesn't beat in any of those categories. Across the board, Braden Smith beats them in 47 out of 90 categories overall, and in stats that matter, he beats them in 31 out of 50. Obviously, all of these guys are great point guards that were on this list. I'm not trying to take that away from them. But Braden Smith beats Zakai Ziegler in points, assists, rebounds, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage. I just don't understand how a guy who is so statistically impressive and passes the eye test when you watch him is not a finalist for the Bob Cousy Award. And I know a lot of you are probably saying that he just has all of those assists because he can dump the ball into Zach Edey every play. Which is partially true. Braden Smith has 53 assists to Edey, which is the most out of any other player that Braden Smith has dished a pass to. But if you take away all of his assists to Edey, he still averages 5 assists per game, which is more than 3 of the finalists that were on the top 10 list. At this point, if you still have a reason to say that Braden Smith should not be included on the finalist list, you are either just a dedicated hater or you have some extreme ball knowledge that can disprove every point that I've made in this video. Because even when you take away the fact that Braden Smith was widely overlooked by college scouts, when you take away that he is just a sophomore, when you take away that he is generously listed at 6 foot tall when he is probably closer to 5'10", even when you take away that he has been the starting point guard for a top 5 team in the nation for 2 years in a row, you are still left with the undisputable fact that his stats are comparable to all of these players. And some would say that he is better than most of these guys. I know I'm going to be told that I only think these things because I'm a Purdue fan, but it honestly seems like Purdue fans are not allowed to enjoy having good players or having a good team. If we try to say good things about Zach Edey, we get made fun of. If we try to enjoy having the most Big Ten championships, we get made fun of. If we try to enjoy having a team that is consistently ranked in the top 5, we get made fun of. If we try to point out how stupid it is that we get made fun of, we get made fun of. So I'm probably not going to change anyone's opinions on Braden Smith or Purdue. But him getting snubbed from the Bob Cousy Award finalist list is still crazy. I understand that he isn't the best guard in college basketball. I'm not saying that he should win the Bob Cousy Award. But I am saying that he is a top 10 point guard in Division I college basketball. and should have been included on the list. Braden Smith is by no means perfect or an unflawed player. I understand he isn't a super flashy guy, and he doesn't really have that it factor when you watch him. He usually isn't the guy who hits the big shot, but he is usually the guy who gets his teammate in that position to hit big shots in the first place. And that quality is great to have in a point guard. At the basic level of the position, a point guard is unselfish and makes plays to help his teammates. And that is exactly what Braden Smith does best. I think that Braden Smith has been really underrated by the national media, and I think that he gets a lot of hate, and most of it seems unwarranted. It's just because he plays on Purdue, and it's just because it's fun and trendy and popular to hate on Purdue. And I get it, he didn't do himself any favors by not playing very well against FDU last year. But still, this year he has been absolutely stellar. So I really don't understand why he's been left off the top 10 finalist list. It really seems like he should be there because there are several of those guys where he is just flat out better than statistically and when you watch him play. But that's just my opinion. I know I'm a homer. It's because I'm a Purdue fan. I don't actually know anything about basketball and whatnot. It's probably what I'm going to get told. But all I'm saying is Braden Smith maybe deserves a little bit more credit than he gets. Anyways, I'm Limitless Bulls. I'll see you guys next time.
But you can mix right, nigga, put it in the blender. Hell yeah, I'm Wingstop. Jump on the chicken tender. It's like the beef from energy and water like Kimber. It's turning, looking like dinner. It's like I got the bag, boy or girl. You can pick